Well, I've done it. I finished Luke Cage season 2, and this is the review. I enjoyed this. I think I enjoyed this more than I did the first season of Luke Cage. It wasn't a bad season, especially for the character Luke Cage. It was just something about it that just didn't bring anything that I like. It's in Harlem. It's dealing with mainly African Americans, the community there in Harlem. And the thing about that is, it's a comic book character, and it's an interpretation of a comic book character. So it's going to cater more towards people who generally just watch television than it is to people who are comic book fans, because sometimes it's going to be really grounded in reality. Not going to have too many fantastical type things happening like you would in the comics. With that said, I'm prepared for that. So sometimes I already know, I might not like this, the way they do it or whatever. But I did enjoy a lot of it. I enjoyed a lot of it. It just wasn't, it was like my third favorite out of the Marvel Netflix series. Iron Fist definitely last. Oh my gosh, I thought Iron Fist would be so much different than what it was. But anyway, I enjoyed season 2 more. They got past the introduction of Luke Cage that we had in season 1. Actually, we were introduced to him in Jessica Jones, which I really liked, and I liked the chemistry they had. He was in that quite a bit. He was in like half the episodes of Jessica Jones season 1. But the thing is, we're past that now. Now Luke Cage is known, and that might have been one of the reasons why he wasn't, hiding his abilities. And we're closer to what Luke Cage was in the comics at one time when he was like Heroes for Hire. So everybody knows who he is. He's walking through the streets. They have apps. He has friends who are selling merchandise with him on it, or things that was happening around the city that revolved around him. He's stopping a bunch of drug deals and stuff. He's not afraid to be out there, and people see who he is. Some cops, they recognize that he's helping out. Other ones are like, look, you're taking the law in your own hands. You're still a vigilante. You're not working with us. You either go to school, become a cop, and then you can help us or whatever. Thing is, they introduced some new characters this season, and I liked a lot of them because the stylists, they were Jamaicans. I really liked them. I like Jamaican accents. I like hearing them talk and stuff like that. But also they come with Bushmaster, who was, he feels like his birthright was to rule over Harlem, the way that Mariah was, and the Stokes had ruled over Harlem for so long, because his family was done wrong by the Stokes. You know what I mean? Through some rum and the ownership of that nightclub, Harlem Paradise. But the thing is, he comes back. I like this character. He seems, he's not one dimensional. That's why I like him, because he is a threat to Luke Cage through the ingestion of certain herbs grown in a certain soil and sunlight or whatever, and a concoction of other things. So he enhances his strength, his durability and stuff. So he's a match for Luke Cage. More than a match, because he's faster than him, more agile. He has a different fighting style. But Luke's been through a couple of scuffles before. He knows how to fight. So Luke gets the best of him sometimes. But not just that. You see this new guy, Bushmaster, interacting with Luke Cage on the streets. And it's like, oh man, this dude's pure evil. But he's really not. He's just misguided, because he's hanging around his family at a local Jamaican food spot. And they're just watching sports, having a good time, talking about things. And he just seems very normal. He's there, and he doesn't seem like he's a threat or menace to anybody else. But he does not play when somebody interferes with his plan to take over Harlem. I think he wanted to take all of New York, but Harlem was, like he said, his birthright. So I really liked the character of Bushmaster. I liked him a lot. I really did. Cottonmouth was great from season 1, especially with the actor who's playing him. And that actor has such a gravitas to him, like whenever he's on screen. I think that helped a lot with the character. You put a great actor into a role for a character, and you're going to get great results most of the time. But Cottonmouth was cool. I like Cottonmouth a lot, but I think Bushmaster he's more of a normal comic book villain. You know what I'm saying? Because Cottonmouth in the comic, he had like these sharp metal teeth or something like that, but they didn't do that in the show. And it probably would have looked silly on that actor, because he's just so serious in his ability and talent. But maybe he could have pulled it off. But no, Bushmaster is very much strong, fast, and he can heal, and really quickly. But he had his problems with that too. It's like a drug. The herbs and the concoction that he makes and he takes is like a drug, so it messes him up, destroys parts of his mind and his body also. So I can't wait to see Bushmaster again. There's going to be some spoilers in this. Should have said it in the beginning, but it's a review. I didn't say non-spoiler, but at the same time, it's going to be some spoilers. I got to talk about the show, and I don't want to make it too long, so I'm just running through it. Claire was back. The relationship with Claire and Luke was cool, but I just really want Luke and Jessica. I know they're together in the comics, and they got a daughter and stuff like that. So that's what I like, and that's what I want to see, but they take their time getting to there. We established a relationship, a connection to Luke and Jessica, and we saw that was still there during the Defenders, but they have these separate things going on in their life, so, I just can't wait for that. It's like whoever's in Luke's life, I'm like, you're temporary. Jessica coming back around. I hope we get Jessica and him together by season 2 of Defenders. But she was cool. Looked like he had a new interest, or somebody who could have been his love interest, Mariah's daughter. I'm done with Mariah and Shades. It's so cringy every time I see them together. They kiss. He's rubbing all over him. Like, you want her? Now, I understand Shades is attracted to how she's running Harlem and what she can do because of this family she comes from. He was attracted to that too, and he's from Harlem himself, so he's going to be attracted to that type of woman. But it's just something so cringy about watching them. I'm using that word a lot because everybody else uses it. But I just don't like it. I'm done with Mariah. We had her in the first season, like halfway through, her taking over after she killed her cousin, Cornell, Cottonmouth. And then we had her this season. I'm like, I'm done with her. And if you've seen the end of this season, I was kind of like, okay, well, you know what, that's messed up, but I'm happy. I'm ready to move on to new things. I like also where it ended up with Luke. He's meeting the Italians and Koreans or Chinese, whatever. Some people who think they want to take over Harlem too. And that woman who he met with, I can't remember her name, but she's like, I was born in Harlem. So, Harlem's a home to me. So why would I try to take over all of New York, but not Harlem too? And I like that. It's bringing in something different. Luke is always going to represent the African-American community, bringing some other stuff. He's dealt fighting with African-Americans in the community. Now you got the Jamaicans, the Italians, Koreans, and I like that. He's always going to have African-Americans to worry about. You know what I mean? But now the position he's in, he's the king of New York, they're calling him, but he's like, I can, if I'm on top of New York and people know I'm running everything and I'm seeing everything, let the crime and stuff try to come through here, think that they can make deals, and I'm just going to shut them down. But it does seem kind of weird, because his friend D-Dub said, if you're trying to control crime, then you're a crime boss. You have to just stop it. Don't try to control it. But Luke is using his head. I like what he came up with. It's kind of like, look, I can't stop crime completely. I can only help where I can help. Don't let any of your crime come in this area, and we're fine. If he tries to stop it everywhere, he's just one man. Even though he's bulletproof, super strong and all that, he's just one man. So what do you expect? But I like the dynamic it puts him in going into the next season. Can't wait to see how that starts. I think we're going to get Defenders before that, so that might play into Defenders too. But overall, I enjoyed this season. I mean, I didn't speak about all the aspects that I enjoyed. I thought it was fun. A lot more fun than season 1. Most of it, the majority of it. So I enjoyed season 1 too, but it's just I like this one much better. Can't wait to see what they got in store for season 3. I'm locked in because these are Marvel characters and I love them. So even though it's bad, I might be a little biased to continue watching and hope they make more and hope it gets better instead of just saying end it. You know what I mean? But I would like a season of Heroes for Hire, where it's Danny and Luke doing their helping the city thing. I would like that. I think an 8 episode of that would be great because they can have cameos too. Too bad we can't get Spider-Man in it. You know what I mean? Something like that. Oh, Misty. I enjoyed everything with Misty. Misty's good. I like her in this show. Whenever they focus on her a lot, I like it. When they're focusing a lot on Mariah, I'm like, get back to Luke, please. You know what I mean? I think that's the format with these binge shows like on Netflix, especially with the Marvel ones. They try to focus on a lot of these characters. It seems like they don't have enough story, or they don't want to stretch the story too thin about the main character, so they focus on the side characters a lot. They did horrible with that in Iron Fist because I didn't care about the Merchants that much. Maybe Harold, the father, he was cool. But the other two, his son and daughter, I'm like, you're spending too much time on them. And I feel like in just one episode, you could have focused on both of what they have to deal with, their problems. And they were in other episodes with Danny and Harold. So, I mean, like, it's just they focus a lot on these side characters trying to build them up. And I think that's just a new tactic they got, like, where you can make all the characters really interesting. But let's be honest, we're really watching for Luke. This is called Luke Cage. It's called Iron Fist, Daredevil, Jessica Jones. These people in their life, that's cool. But to be honest with you, it's not called Jones and Company. It's not called Luke and his surrounding members. It's not called Danny Rand and the Merchants. we want to see them more than anybody else. It was just all the slow stuff for me was anything with Shades and Mariah. Really, it really was. I think they focused on them too much when they were well established in season 1. You didn't have to focus on them so much. But yeah, Claire left Luke. They're making way for her to exit out of his life. I didn't think they belonged together anyway. But Misty, everything dealing with Misty, she has a new prosthetic bionic arm. That was cool. It came from Rand Industries in the comic. It came from Tony Stark's. But whatever. I like that. And Colleen showed up too. So Danny came in. They had an episode with Danny. They mentioned him in a couple episodes. That was pretty cool. We got some good fight scenes with Power Man and Iron Fist like that. Misty Knight and Colleen, they got down. They the Dragon Sisters in the comics at one point. So I don't think we're ever going to get Danny and Misty together. It looks kind of weird if them two. They don't seem like they would mix well, but they can make it happen. The writers, if you're a good writer, you can make that happen. If you enjoy season 1, I think you're going to really enjoy this one too. Maybe even a little bit more. If you didn't like season 1, you might enjoy this one a little bit better. That's what I think. You know, they had a lot more action in this. I enjoy that. I'm always up there for action, but I do think the story comes first and it has to be good. Anyway, that's it. That's my review. I think it was okay. Waiting to see what else they do with Defenders Season 2 and the rest of the shows. Anyway, see you next time.